Hey guys, and welcome into our segment that we're doing this year, 100 Yards with Stephen Hargis. And today we're at Dade County High School with new Wolverines coach Dale Pruitt. Dale, welcome back to the area.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you as always.
Thank you.
We're going to walk and talk about Wolverines football a little bit.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, you've been successful at Alabama, won quite a few games there. I know just up the road a few years ago you were at Marion County,
Right.
won there. Now you're coming into Georgia to try to turn things around here at Dade County. Is there one kind of similarity that whenever you're establishing a program, Dale, that you kind of build it on this foundation and it's worked for you well through the years?
Well, I think going by certain rules and stuff. It's the basic rules of being here every day, treating each other like you want to be treated, play hard, play with some courage, and that stuff kind of helps. I think help each other become a family type deal, and it's a big team sport, so that's what you got to do as far as that. So basically, we're doing what we do everywhere we go. We're trying to just develop a family atmosphere and protect each other and play with courage.
What now the Dade County job? What was it about this job that intrigued you? You had a good thing going in Alabama, but what was it that led you here?
Well, I was retired and on contract at Alabama. I've always had this job a little bit in the back of my mind because it's not that far from home.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came open, when you get my age, there's not a lot of people knocking your door down. So I looked at it and decided to try it, and right now we're happy we have.
Well, I know you got here a little later than you'd wanted to, had to miss out on spring practice, so you're a little bit behind, but you had enough workouts and some scrimmages, things like that. Who are some kids that really stand out for you either side of the ball?
Well, the big thing is we've not had is very much pad work. Of course, we couldn't go in pads in the spring. We couldn't go in pads all summer. We only practiced like 5 days before we had our first scrimmage. So, a lot of the kids are developing that you think, maybe don't catch your eye without pads on, or they're not as good when you put them on. But, we got
I would assume Malachi
Webb. We've got 2 or 3 Williams kids. One of them wears 22, one of them wears 20.
You're probably still in the habit right now.
Oh yeah, you
putting names on helmets.
You
right
shouldn't
now.
ask me names because I can tell you their
Go
numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
We go by numbers. Same numbers in practice aren't again.
Yeah.
But there's a nucleus there of kids that have done well for us. We'll have to see. It's really too early to tell.
Is there ever any difference? I mean, you've coached several schools in Alabama, a lot of success there, 25 playoff appearances, I think 13 region championships, a couple of state championship appearances. The success you had at Marion, is there any difference when you're working with kids? Is it kids or kids no matter where you go, or is it rural schools are a little different than working with other type environments, or what's the similarities, what's the differences in places?
The biggest thing now, off the field you have different problems. Off the field, sometimes you may have they may live further from school in a rural area like here, and you may need to go pick some of them up and do some of that kind of stuff, where if you're in inner city you don't have that distance. But everybody has their own problem. Big thing that I try to stress is once you step across the white line, everything's different, everything's the same. The football field makes everything equal. It doesn't matter who your parents are, or if you know who your parents are. But the whole thing about that's the reason I love this game. It's a team game, and everybody gets an opportunity to help the cause.
Is that what keeps you? I mean, you talked about being retired. What keeps you wanting to coach is just being around the kids, and what is it about the game that just? I know so many guys in our area, when they reach retirement age, they don't give up coaching the game. They give up teaching maybe, but not coaching the game.
Exactly. Well, it's something about the competitive spirit.
Yeah.
You like to compete. If we're home and we're out for Christmas, we liable to play some kind of game. And the last injury I had was during spring break when we were playing 5-on-5, and I think the youngest one in the group, well, 2 of them had just graduated and they'd played on state championship teams, but the rest of us were 30, 40, and I was 62. So I had no business being out there. So but it's about competition.
Now, your son Luke is at Pisgah, and that's a place where you've coached before yourself. Talk about a football family. Do you guys have any kind of when your game's over on Friday, you call, check, and see how he did?
Sure.
I mean, you guys talk through the week, I'm sure, as far as scheme stuff. And what does it mean to have both your sons coaching, following your footsteps?
Well, it's very enjoyable. It's exciting. Everything's planned, and especially in the fall, you're around that. we'll finish practice this afternoon. I'll go to Knoxville Saturday, watch them scrimmage, and we'll talk a little bit, and I'll talk to him probably some on the way back home on the phone. And Luke calls me every day. We talk, you know, it's his first head job. He asks me, what are you doing in this situation? What are you doing in this situation? And we're not talking about X's and O's. We're talking about kids and problems and stuff like
stuff
that.
Away from the field.
That nobody knows about, that takes up so much of your time. Same thing at the next level, and Jimmy has the same deal. It's just a different type of problem, but it's all about trying to get everybody pulling the same direction. And you know, the big thing about it is all three of us have got to win for it to be a good weekend. And last year there wasn't a whole lot of real good weekends.
whether it's Jeremy at Tennessee, Luke at Pisgah, I mean, wherever those guys have been, if you get a chance and you go watch them at a practice or during a game, do you see a lot of yourself in them on the sidelines where they communicate with kids and other coaches, or what do you see that's similar to you?
Well, I don't know. You know, we all have kind of the same philosophy a little bit, and the core of our offense and defenses have come from the same place. Of course, they just the same. You know, that's pretty much everywhere. But a lot of things that Jimmy has used over the years, we use it as far as, you know, on the defensive side especially. And you know, same thing with Luke. It's just a family deal, and we talk about it together. And you know, when Jeremy comes home for Christmas, whether it's Christmas Day or whatever, he usually brings his laptop, and hopefully I'm looking at it to see who they're fixing to play in the bowl game. And that's what I have been able to do sometimes. And you get, you know, you watch, like one year they're fixing to play Washington in the first round of the playoffs. So they did some things that I really liked Washington did. So I mean, it's been helpful for me. It's kept me young. It's kind of kept me up with the game, I guess.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in again. We'll have another issue of 100 Yards with Stephen Hargis next week. Look for big things. Dade County, this is a guy who has won everywhere he's been. He's been in several programs in Alabama, won everywhere he's gone there. You're closing in, what, 300 wins?
289.
289. So, I mean, you know, maybe they'll get to 300 this year, which would be in the playoffs, so not too much pressure there. But look for big things. I mean, it takes a while to kind of start to turn the culture when programs have struggled for a while. Dade County, though, is, I mean, it's an awesome facility. They've got a great staff with him. I know a couple of the guys that work with Dale. They've got a great staff and a lot of numbers out right now. So, you know, look for things to start to turn the right way for Dade County. We'll keep up with you guys this year and hopefully come back and do it again later on during the season, Dale. But I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.